sure you all watch Kung Fu Panda. Yes, this is the giant panda, and also the zebra. There are many more animals which are going to be endangered. I'm not going to tell you. I know a few more. I know many more. Because how do I know? I have Googled, I have gone to the internet, I have read books, and I have found out for myself. So that way, can you name a few more endangered species, endangered animals? We're not talking about plants here, but we are talking about animals. So find out, Google, go to the internet, ask for list of endangered animals, and you will get an entire list, and you will realize how many animals are endangered, right? So this poem, look at those lines in blue. This poem makes us aware of the illegal and mindless killing of tigers. People must understand that all animals have equal rights to live, and they too are God's creation, right? So there is the tiger and its cub. This is a fable you must hear, right? This is a poem. It's a modern poem. It may not have rhyming words. Some of it may just sound like lines, okay? So don't look, now you're all growing up, you're class 5. Don't look at poems where all the words rhyme, sun and fun and play and hey and things like that. So some words may rhyme, some may not. But what is poetry in this? Is the feeling, the sadness, the shock that we are killing animals for no reason or for very stupid reasons. This is a fable you must hear. What's a fable? What's a fable? Aesop's fables. A fable is a story, but it's a story about animals. Now, that's the difference. A folk tale is a story. It's a story about folk or people. A fable is a story about animals. Panchatantra, the fox and the crow, Jataka tales, right? Aesop's about animals. So these are all the different fables that you have read. This is a fable you must hear of a cub who has no fear. I am the cub of the king of the forest. I used to play with my dad, and when tired, had rest. So this is a young cub. What is a young one of a tiger called? A cub. This cub had no fear. There was no need to fear because they were in the wild. They were used to playing and hunting and eating and sleeping. And then what happened? We used to play hide and seek and sometimes fight. And I used to rest in his shadow in bright daylight. In whose shadow was the cub lying down? In the shadow of his father. My dad. Dad means father. Let's read the first stanza again. This is a fable you must hear of a cub who has no fear. I am the cub of the animal, or I am the cub of the king of the forest. I used to play with my dad and when tired had rest. We used to play hide and seek and sometimes fight, and I used to rest in his shadow in bright daylight. So the father and son, father and the cub are playing, they're fighting, they're teasing each other, and when the cub is tired, he sleeps in the shadow of his father. But one day, you humans came. And that day, what you did is a shame. What do you think humans did? Humans did something and the cub says, and that was a shame. Carrying a 3 feet long pipe-like thing. What's a 3 feet long pipe-like thing? Having a hole in front like a ring, carrying a 3 feet pipe-like thing, having a hole in front like a ring. Suddenly something came out with a thud, and my father fell down in a river of his own blood. What is this 3 foot long thing? A gun, a rifle, a hunting rifle. So the cub says, you humans came with a hunting rifle, and something suddenly with a thud. What's a thud? A thud is a loud noise. And my father fell in the river of his blood. You shot him. And he fell in his own blood. As you came, I fled to my den. Who is talking? The cub. As you came. As who came? As the humans came, I fled to my den. What's a den? Den is a small place in a cave, maybe, where a tiger or a lion live. And you carried my father down the forest lane. You must have taken him to get him well. And one day I can play with my dad again. So what does the poor innocent cub think? The cub thinks that the humans have taken the father to get him well. Have they shot the father to make him get well? No, we have shot the tiger because we want the tiger skin, we want the tiger head, we want tiger claws, we want tiger teeth. Isn't that terrible? Aren't we ashamed of ourselves? I'm very ashamed that we kill animals because we can. Let's read that again. Carrying a 3 feet long pipe-like thing, having a hole in front like a ring, the gun in the front, it looks like a ring. Suddenly something came out with a thud, a sound, a thud. And my father fell down in the river of his own blood. The tiger began to bleed. Don't say blood is coming. Blood is coming, right? We say, I am bleeding. Blood is coming. Bathroom is coming, right? We say all this. No, that's not the right way to say. We should say, suppose you hurt yourself. This is, ma'am, he is bleeding. Someone has fallen and hurt himself. You say, ma'am, he is bleeding. Don't say, ma'am, blood is coming. Ma'am, he is bleeding. Ma'am, I would like to use the toilet. Right. As you came, I fled my den, and you carried my father down the forest lane. You must have taken him to get him well, and one day I can play with my dad again. You must be living with your family. But when will I be able to meet my father again? It's been 6 months since you took him away from me. I hope you will come back soon and set him free. Isn't that sad? You must be living with your family,